Okay, so now that we know how to use some edit mode, at least in the basic, some basic ways, we can attempt to make one of our forms a little more complex. So let me go ahead and I'll take our sphere that we've been working on. I'm just going to use this file here, but I'll take this, I'm going to go to object mode, and I'm going to get rid of this sphere. And let's go ahead and start with a cylinder. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of leave it as is for now. And what we'll do with this cylinder is we're gonna take it and we'll make a hat out of it, and we'll replace the very simple hat that we had before, and we'll do that using edit mode. Okay, so let's go over to edit mode, and you'll probably now see some of the vertices and the edges that make up this cylinder, and so let's start to kind of change this up a bit. So first thing we want to do is I'm going to go to the top of our cylinder. And again, what I want to do here is I want to loop this. And you can do this using the vertex or the edge selects, or in fact, the face select. And let's do face because that's going to be easier. So I'll just take face select. I'll select the very top of this cylinder here, and I'm just going to scale it up a bit. Now remember, if you are in the scale mode, you can just kind of click anywhere inside this circle, and you can scale either bigger or smaller. If you guys wants to undo what you just did, remember that you can always go to edit and undo it, or again the shortcut is Command Z. So just know that, because that will be useful to you. Back to the scale, if you use these other boxes here, just kind of keep in mind you're not going to scale everything together, you're just going to scale on one axis. So I want to scale everything together, so I'll just make that top a little bigger than the bottom. And what I want to do here is I want it to kind of go bigger at the top and then sort of curve as we come down. And then I need to make a brim, of course. Now, what we want to do with the sides here is we want to add some more segments that we can use. And so what we'll do is we're going to add what are called some loop cuts. And this is going to just cut some more segments in the middle here. So I'll click on loop cut, and I'll go over to my object, and you'll sort of see this line appear. And then you can left click, and it will add the loop cut, and you can add more if you would like. And when you want to stop, just go back to loop cut and turn that off, or actually just go to any of the other tools, and now you can even move the loop cut. So I'll keep one towards the top. I'm going to go over, make sure I'm in the edge select. Now I can select the edges or the lines. Remember, if you want to select the whole loop, go ahead and just hold down Option and then click, and it will select all the way around. And I want to put one of these guys kind of lower, and I'll scale this down. I think I'm going to add one more. And again, I'm going to just kind of slowly get wider. If you need to adjust, again, use your Option key and you can select the whole loop. It's easier than taking one segment by one segment. You can even do it at the top. There you go. So that's sort of my top hat. Now I want to make one more loop cut. I'll do it at the bottom here. And I'm just going to move this one down. And this is going to be what we're going to use as the brim. So we're going to do this one a little bit differently. I'm going to make it thin. Now what I want to do here is select the faces. So I'm going to go over to Face Select. And I want to select these guys. But again, I want to loop it. So I will loop by holding down Option and clicking on the face. And again, it should loop it all the way around. Now again, you might get the wrong direction. You might get it going up. Just, I think it helps if you, when you hold Option and you go towards the side of the face, then it should select going the correct way. And so now I have all of this selected, and we're going to do something different. We're going to do what's called extrude. So I'm going to throw a lot at you here. Now, there's different kinds of extrudes. So here's your extrude button. If you hold your mouse down on it, you will get some different options. You have extrude region, along normals, individual, extrude to cursor. I won't show you all of them now, but you can go ahead and try them out. So I'll show you region. And all you have to do here is click on it. And that will show you what it's doing. I don't want that one, so I'm going to hit Command Z, again, undo it. Along normals. And normals, sort of a hard thing to describe, but it's pretty much a perpendicular line that comes from your selection. So this is actually what I want, because it is taking these faces and it's pushing them out, but it's also keeping them connected. And that is what I want for our hat. Okay? So that looks pretty good. I'll stay with that. And then we're going to do one more thing. Again, that was extrude along normals. Before I actually move on, I'll show you this last one. So extrude individual would look like this. And again, when I do this, I'm just clicking on any of these faces, and then I'm pushing my mouse in or out, sort of up or down. So that's individual, and you'll see how it separates. So I don't want that one. Again, I want along normals, and that will keep everything connected. And that is our top hat. Almost. We're going to do one more thing. So I showed you loop cut. I showed you extrude. I'll show you one more. And we're going to use this bottom piece. And this is going to be using this option here called Inset Faces. So I will click on it. And I'm going to just click and drag, and you'll see what that does is it makes sort of another row of faces, and it makes this circle smaller. If I were to do that on any of these faces here, you'll sort of see it do the same thing. It will inset a face and also surround it with more polygons. Now, what I can do is take this middle piece. I'm just going to go to my move, and I can select it. And there's a couple ways I could do this. I can just move this up, and it will kind of do what I want. And that will create the opening. You just want to make sure that your sizing is correct. So don't make sure nothing's coming out of your the outside of the hat. So we'll go with that, because that's the easiest way to do it. Once I'm done, I can go to object mode, and now I have my hat. So I'll save this. Again, I'll call it hat.blend. Also make sure that after you name it, go to the right folder. Again, you should see your desktop on the left side here, and I'm going to go to desktop, and I'm also going to make sure that this goes to class exercises. Then you can go ahead and save as Blender file. Now, before we finish here, we have our hat, but we also want to put it together with our snowman. So before I am done, what I want to do is, let's go ahead and select our hat. So I'll go to Object, and I'm going to click on Copy Objects. Make sure, again, your hat is selected. Again, Object, Copy Objects. Then I'm going to go ahead and close this. Or I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Open Recent, and I'll go to my snowman. I'll just open this up. And now I can go here. I'm going to get rid of this old hat. And there's two parts to this one. And now I can replace it with my new hat. So I'll go back to Object. This time I'll go to Paste Objects. And that should give me my new hat. And you'll see it's a little big, but I will scale it down. Put it in place. I'm going to tilt this, rotate it a tiny bit. Remember to use your different camera angles. So that's the side view. Check it on the other views. There's the back. There's the front. Rotate it. Now we have a nice hat. Lastly, I will add some materials. Again, your materials are here on this icon. I already have some colors here of orange and black. So with that hat selected, all I have to do is go here to Browse Material to be linked. And then I'll use our black. And now our hat is ready to go. And now we have a hat. I'll go ahead and hit File, and I'll hit Save. We won't render this one, but now hopefully you know how to make an object in edit mode from one of your basic objects, and go ahead and save your file.